One day, the Egyptian Public Prosecutor's Office received a terrifying report. A patient named Abdel Kader had just undergone a successful surgery. Everything seemed fine until he was transferred to the ICU. Minutes later, he suddenly struggled to breathe and died. But here's the chilling part. Abdel Kader wasn't the first. 30 other patients had died in the exact same way, all after successful operations, all after being moved to the ICU, all in the same hospital. This pattern couldn't be ignored. Authorities immediately ordered an autopsy on Abdel Kader's body, and what they found was horrifying. His system was full of a powerful drug called Pavulon, a paralytic agent that causes complete muscle paralysis, including the muscles needed to breathe. The same symptoms witnessed in all 30 patients. The investigation launched fast and hard. Who was behind these deaths?
At first, there was no connection between the victims. Different ages, different medical conditions, different backgrounds. But eventually, investigators found one common thread. One person who had been present every single time a patient died. And to uncover the truth, we need to go back in time. Back to 1997, in a hospital somewhere in Egypt. Doctors began noticing something bizarre. After every successful surgery, when patients were transferred to the ICU and hooked up to oxygen, something was off. The oxygen tubes would slide in too easily. The patient's airways were unnaturally relaxed. There was no resistance at all. It was as if they were completely paralyzed. These patients weren't just recovering. They were being intentionally drugged. But who could commit such a cold-blooded act against vulnerable patients? And most importantly, why? The shocking twist that changed everything. Accusations started flying around the hospital. Everyone pointed fingers. No one took the blame. But then, something happened that changed the entire course of the investigation. An 11-year-old girl named Saba was admitted to the hospital for surgery. The operation was a success. But shortly after, she began experiencing the exact same symptoms as the previous victims. Only this time, doctors managed to save her. Barely. And when she woke up, she said something absolutely terrifying. "Nurse Ida gave me the injection." The revelation sent shockwaves through the hospital.
Nurse Aida was well known, respected, even beloved. She'd won an award for being the ideal nurse. No one had ever suspected her. But Saba's statement wasn't the only damning evidence. Investigators confirmed that Aida had been present every single night a patient had mysteriously died. The authorities arrested her. She was charged with premeditated murder. But while in police custody, Aida tried to take her own life. Everyone assumed she was overwhelmed with guilt. And then, under intense interrogation, she confessed. What she revealed was unimaginable. Aida admitted to injecting patients with Pavulon right after surgery, but she claimed she didn't act alone. She would call over a certain doctor, someone she secretly had feelings for, and ask him to administer the injection, while she stood by and watched. But eventually, she said she started doing it herself, for the thrill of it. Aida was convicted and sentenced to death. But just as the case seemed closed, a shocking new development flipped the narrative on its head. A new lawyer stepped forward, volunteering to defend Aida. He demanded a retrial, convinced she was innocent, and soon strange things started to surface. First, nurses who had testified against Aida suddenly retracted their statements. Second, the hospital had previously honored Aida even while patients were dying under her care. Would they really celebrate a serial killer? Third, Whispers began spreading that Aida was just a pawn in a power struggle between rival doctors over leadership of the department. Still, no solid evidence could fully clear her name.
After all, Ida confessed in detail. She even reenacted the crimes. And if she were innocent, why try to kill herself? But Ida and her lawyer hit back with a bold claim. They said she never tried to commit suicide, she was pushed by officers during interrogation. And her confession? It was made while she was under the influence of a drug called Avil, which she admitted to taking regularly. She wasn't in her right mind. Then came the biggest twist of all. Patients continued dying in the exact same way even after Ida was imprisoned. One of the victims, a patient under the care of the very doctor she had accused. Her lawyer also proved that Ida wasn't present for every single case. Some deaths happened when she wasn't even on shift. Based on this mountain of doubt, the court reduced her sentence. Ida was convicted of negligence, not murder, and sentenced to 10 years in prison. She served 7 years, then was released early for good behavior. But the truth remains buried. Was the real killer one of the doctors? Or was Ida's lawyer just smart enough to save a murderer from execution? We may never know.
If you like the story, follow for more videos and exciting Arab